Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, going to go over an article titled, I'm pretty sure the reason I'm single is that I'm too picky. And guys, this article is written by a woman, and let's just say she's not exactly happy that she's single, and yet, no matter what, she's picky as hell. Okay, and you're going to see through this article all her reasons about her screening process when it comes to guys and all that. She is more like psychotically picky. And I'm doing this article, guys, as an example of how things are nowadays. That more and more as time goes on, it seems like women, especially even just your average gals that, are okay looking, not bad bodies, but nothing spectacular, but okay. Even they're the same way, feel entitled to the top guys, right? And will always find reasons to sabotage things if literally all the 45 things on their checklist are not checked off. And I'm doing this, guys, because it's pretty funny to see how these same types that are psychotically picky are always the ones that complain, wait for it, where are all the good men? There are no good men out there. And insult guys because we don't seem to measure up. When the truth is, there's plenty of good guys out there. I mean, the problem is that these good guys out there are just, unfortunately, too nice. They're too accommodating. They're too easy. They're too predictable. They put the girls on the pedestal, kiss their butts, let them walk all over them. And these girls end up going for the Chad and Tyrones because they at least want a guy that acts like a man, even though he's a scumbag. And yet they complain and have these high standards. But it's always funny to hear these types that are so picky, and then later on down the road, they're alone. And then, again, point the finger at us guys. And it's just ridiculous. But at the end of the day, and then they complain and whine that they're alone, but it's like, you're the one being crazy picky. And usually their friends and family, they know this, but they accommodate them. They're like, oh, that's all right, girl. You take your time and find your Prince Charming. Meanwhile, when the girl's not around, they're like, shh, that bitch is crazy. So anyhow, guys, I'm going to go through this article here. You can see a little bit more I'm talking about. It's a perfect example of the times. And I also might add, I'm sure there isn't one of you guys watching this right now that doesn't know a woman, whether it's a woman in your family, a female coworker, a friend, acquaintance, whatever, that isn't kind of in the same situation, probably in her 30s or 40s, or maybe even her 20s nowadays, and is alone, but that doesn't get it. And the only thing in her future is a cat and box wine. So it starts off, I've always been told to never settle or put my heart into something or someone when it's likely to get broken. So of course, I'm a little picky when deciding whether or not to invest my time with someone. Who wants to be stuck with someone who isn't good for them? The problem is, I think I've taken my habit of being selective a little too far, and it's actually keeping me single. Gee, you think a little too far? Number one, I never give second chances. If I'm done wrong once, it's unlikely there'll be a second time. Second chance isn't really a part of my vocabulary because I don't really believe in them. Obviously, it depends on the situation, but you had the opportunity to show me the right way the first time. Why not do it then? Okay, so I get not giving someone a second chance if they cheated on you. That's a perfect example. That's a deal breaker. No second chance. And it goes both ways. If a gal cheats on a guy and he says, that's it, you're done, get out of here, never call me again, no second chance, fine. Or if a woman tells a guy if he cheats on her and she says, hit the road, Jack, same thing. But if the guy shows up 20 minutes late for a date because he was stuck in traffic or some minor infraction like that and she's not going to give a second chance, come on here. But there are types that are like that. Number two, listen to this. This is one of the best ones that give you an example. Number two, I'm skeptical when guys are too nice to me. As soon as a guy compliments me, sends endless smiley face emojis, or tells me how beautiful I am, I automatically see red flags. It is impossible, and she wrote impossible in giant letters, to be that giddy all the time. And it makes me think he's up to something. I don't necessarily want a jerk. I just want him to be real with me. Okay, so she's skeptical when guys are nice to them. Now, a lot of women are turned off, borderline repelled by nice guys. And a lot of them do this because they think the nice guys are full of crap. Okay, and there is definitely some truth to that. But the thing is this, is that she says here, as soon as the guy compliments me, tells me how beautiful I am, things like that, she sees red flags. Now, a lot of guys out there, if they really like a woman, they want to compliment her. They want to do things for her. They want to say how beautiful she is. And they mean it. It's not an act. It's not BS. But you can see here how she immediately thinks something's wrong. The problem is that they're validating her. Okay? And a lot of women, they love the chase. They love to chase a guy's validation, because the second they get it from them, they know the guy likes them or is attracted to them or something, that's when their interest starts to dwindle. So the bad boys, as many are aware, don't do that. They don't chase. They don't compliment. They don't validate. And notice they're always being the ones chased after. But it's just ridiculous, because there's plenty of great guys out there that can make her happy, but because they're, God forbid, giving her a compliment or eager to see her or date her, they're automatically suspicious in her eyes. And plenty are like this. It's ridiculous. And these are the same ones who complain, where are the good men? Or I just want a nice guy. I want a guy that does this, this, and this. Well, there's plenty of good guys out there, but perfect example. Another one, number 3. I pick out every possible flaw. When getting to know him, all the bad stuff surfaces first. I'm always careful in observing behavior and attitude. So when I see something negative come out, I keep tabs. It's not just that I think there's something wrong with everyone. I just prefer to be aware and notice things I would otherwise be too love blind to notice. Well, it's always good to watch out for red flags. I always tell you guys that all the time. But the difference here is that she is deliberately looking for reasons to reject the guy. Okay? And I'm noticing a pattern already, where I think, to be honest with you, she's scared shitless of getting serious with someone. Who knows what it could have been? Maybe she got a dump when she was younger and is afraid of getting serious. Maybe she's got daddy issues, daddy left, and she has a hard time getting serious with a guy that fear getting her heart broken. I don't know what. Okay, I'm just speculating here. But something's up. And with a lot of women, you find out, you start digging, you'll find out bad breakup in the past, who knows what. Next one. I come to irrational conclusions about intentions. Irrational, you say? Call me crazy, but the last time I checked, some women are irrational from time to time. She says, for some reason, I tend to decide what his intentions are without really knowing, and they're never positive. Basically, I come up with my own reasons why he does things the way he does, and they could totally be inaccurate. Translation, she's a control freak. She's going to figure out why he does things, that way she can always know that there'll be no surprises. In fact, it usually is. I come up with these scenarios that are totally unrealistic, and it definitely keeps me from seeing what's in front of me. And this same woman's going to be crying the blues, alone, drinking her box wine, watching romantic comedies on a Saturday night, on the couch with the cats, complaining that she's alone, and meanwhile does all these things. I think this gal needs some time in therapy. Number 6, I'm always worried about picking the wrong one. My fear of spending time with someone who isn't good for me in the long run continues to ruin my ability to just be happy with him. There are so many guys out there. What if I end up with a complete bonehead while my, wait for it, Prince Charming is getting away? What if I thought this would work out and it doesn't? Look, lady, no guy out there is perfect. I have news for you, and I have news for any other woman that stumbles across this channel and happens to watch this video. No guy is perfect, okay? In fact, it's a lot of the imperfect guys that these gals go for, ironically. You're not all these impossible standards, this giant checklist of all these things these guys need to meet for you. And by the way, I think I need to address something that probably many of you guys are wondering right now. What does she bring to the table? Why is she so picky? What gives her the justification to be so psychotically picky? I don't know what she looks like, but she had better be damn good looking, smoking hot body, amazing in the sack, have money, be cool. Well, she ain't cool. We've crossed that bridge there, but you know what I mean. But this is an example of today's world, thanks to the feminist movement, amongst many other things, convincing women they're entitled to the top guys, when that's just mathematically impossible. Seriously, what does she have that feels entitled to these top guys? Why is she so psychotically picky? Unless, back to my original thought, that maybe she was burned really bad in the past, whether it be by her father, who knows, First love, first guy took her virginity. Who knows? It's interesting. Number 7. Oh, this is one of my favorites. I think almost every guy is immature. Well, every guy is immature. Is kind of immature. But being too childish is to be with me. Let me start over. I'm messing it up. Well, every guy I've met is kind of immature. But being too childish to be with me is something I worry about. I don't want a boy. I want a man. Guys who laugh at immature jokes, are rude and insensitive, and don't take much notice to how they make others feel are impossible for me to deal with. It seems hard to find someone who doesn't fit in this category even a little bit. Okay, now I got no problem with a woman not wanting a guy who acts like a child. I got no problem with that. But here's the deal. Every guy, there's no guy out there that doesn't occasionally do some of the things she talks about. Okay? The only guys that don't act like what she's describing here are probably your absolutely far side of the pendulum, woke, nice guys of today. And she ain't going to be interested in them. I mean, right here, she says, what's her list? Guys that laugh at immature jokes. Rude and insensitive and don't take much notice to how much they make others feel are possible for me to deal with. Well, guess what? Pretty much any type of guy, any masculine guy is going to have some of these traits. I mean, right here, she wouldn't want me. The laughs at immature jokes. Guess what? On occasion, I have a South Park kick. And I'll tune in and watch old reruns of South Park or see some on YouTube, and I'll laugh my ass off like I'm a freaking 12-year-old, okay? And I'm 43 years old, because sometimes I just get in the mood for that, and I do laugh at jokes like that at other people's expenses. It's funny. So she wouldn't want me. And I think of myself as a pretty well-adjusted, driven, successful guy. Or the part about rude and insensitive. Again, she wouldn't like me because I'm a smartass and I make fun of everything. And a day doesn't go by where I don't get 10 comments either in the videos I've done or do, emails, direct messages from people that hate me that say I'm insensitive amongst many other things. Or don't take notice how much they make other people feel. Again, back to me. So there are many guys that aren't going to do this stuff on occasion. So again, she's making it darn near possible unless she wants some absolutely woke nice guy, and I guarantee they'll turn her off. Number 8. Listen to this. I have unrealistic expectations. You think? My idea of a great relationship may be something I'll never obtain. Huh. And that's because I expect something close to perfection. I know that no relationship is perfect, and neither is any guy or girl for that matter. I just want something close to it. Isn't that what we all want, though? Again, thanks to the world of social media and dating apps where your average girl is flooded with attention from guys all over the world, just an average girl in terms of her look, she just has to put a picture of herself in a bikini or shit just at the bar with some girls having drinks in a semi-revealing shirt, and she can get all these dudes complimenting her and all that, and then all the attention women get on dating apps. Is any wonder they feel entitled to the top guys from all the attention they get? And advertisements like, you're worth it, or the feminist movement tell women that they pretty much can do anything a man can do and deserve it all. You see where this attitude comes from? There's no perfect guy out there. I hate to break it to you, honey. You're going to be alone. And believe me, I'm an animal lover. So if this means that there's going to be a cat or a couple kitties that are going to be adopted by a lot of women like her, okay, cool. There's a silver. That's nice. Okay, I want animals to have a nice home. But seriously, you're not going to have this. Lighten up. Number 9. I'm cynical as F. Really. I have a hard time believing in others because it's hard to know for sure if you're with someone who's what and who they say they actually are. People are lied to, hurt, cheated on, and misled every day. I don't want to be one of those people, so I keep my eye out for it perhaps a little too much. Yes, people do get hurt, people are misled and all that, but and guys do that. But newsflash, so do women. You ever hear about the bait and switch girlfriend or bait and switch wife? Happens to guys all the time. Is that cool? Of course not. But that doesn't mean that everybody's going to be like that. And yes, you have to pay attention to the red flags. We all have to pay attention to the red flags. But just going into it thinking that it's going to be a disaster and come on here. But again, this goes back to I think she'd been burned pretty bad when she was younger. Number 10. I let my past hurts affect my future love prospects. There you go, what I tell you. My feelings in my heart can only take so much after the hurt I've experienced. I don't want to go through the same thing or regret making the same mistakes I once made. When your heart is broken once, you just don't go forth the same way you used to. It's like you walk around a tad bit broken, but not broken enough to give it up. There we are, gentlemen, right there. She's been burned bad before. There you go. You know, I read things before I do them. That was the one part of this thing I didn't read. So no bullshit. But that's just, you do this long enough, you start to notice patterns here. She was burned, so now she has to be a control freak and set everything up to fail before it even begins. I think she definitely could benefit from some therapy trying to work out that shit in her head, because she's going to be miserable the rest of her life. And you can say, who cares? And yeah, honestly, I don't care. But I don't like having these gals later on in life insulting us guys about, we're all the good men. There's no good men out there. Even though there are plenty, because they themselves were at fault for being so picky and you know the rest. 11. I don't want to waste my time. Maybe I'm wasting time looking for the one by being too picky. You think? But that's okay, because I'd rather do that than waste my time with someone I shouldn't be with. It may be ridiculous and it may be crazy, but that's the kind of love I'm after anyway. Ridiculous and crazy. Today's world, gentlemen. Right there. Perfect example. And yet, she'll be the type that's going to be complaining, or is complaining actually, that she's alone and no man and all that. Lady, lighten up. And any woman watching this, or any guy that is watching this now and has a girl they know they're actually friends with or someone in their life, send them this video. And understand, you're going to be alone. You're going to be miserable unless you take these ridiculously high standards you've set. And keep in mind, you're not the queen either. You're going to be alone. So this is ridiculous, but this is an example of today's world. This is exactly why I'm doing this video here. Aside from the fact from a good life, just to show you. So, but anyhow, guys, it is no wonder so many guys are just like, I'm done. I'm done dating. I'm done relationships, because there's so many more of these types out there. You can't ever make them happy. So guys are just happy being by themselves, hanging out with their dog, pursuing their business interests, hanging out with their buddies and all that, and making their lives better. They realize, I don't need a chick, and I certainly don't need this kind of drama and BS when so many are like this out there, and they're going to reject me anyway. Any wonder? These days are crazy, guys. But anyhow, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Guys, let me know in the comment section. Do you know women that are like this? Have you been broken up by women like this? Do you have a female family member, a female coworker, acquaintance, friend, whatever? Just let me know. Share some examples in the comment section. It's always good to see this. Helps us be aware of what's going on out there. And also, guys, you ever come across a great article or story that you want me to cover in a future video, by all means, send it over here to me. And if it definitely works, I'll certainly do it in the future. I mean, I get tons of these every day, so I can't do them all at once, but I have a big list, and I get to them when I can. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.